MNF movement and the Mizoram Peace Accord. Background of the MNF movement. The MIZO National Front MNF movement began in response to political, economic and humanitarian issues faced by the MIZO people in the 1950s and 60s. A key turning point was the 1959 Mautam famine, caused by bamboo flowering and rat infestation, which devastated Mizoram. The central government's inadequate response to the famine created deep resentment among the MIZOs. In 1961, Laldenga, a former Indian Army soldier, founded the MIZO National Front MNF. Initially formed as a social organization, it evolved into a secessionist movement aiming for an independent sovereign state for the MIZOs. Insurgency and armed struggle. In 1966, the MNF declared independence from India and launched an armed uprising. This led to a violent conflict between MNF insurgents and Indian security forces. The Indian government responded with military operations, including the bombing of Aizawl, the state capital, one of the few instances of aerial bombardment in independent India. For over 2 decades, Mizoram remained in turmoil, with human rights violations, curfews, and political instability. The Mizoram Peace Accord, 1986. After years of insurgency and failed negotiations, the Indian government and the MNF finally reached a historic agreement on June 30, 1986, known as the MIZORAM Peace Accord. Key provisions of the accord: MNF agreed to abandon violence and surrender arms. In return, the Government of India agreed to elevate Mizoram to a full-fledged state. All MNF members were granted amnesty, and Laldenga became the Chief Minister of Mizoram. The MNF became a recognized political party and participated in democratic elections. The historic peace accord was signed in New Delhi on June 30, 1986. Key signatories were Laldenga, President of MNF, R.D. Pradhan, Home Secretary of India; Lalkama, Chief Secretary of Mizoram. The agreement led to MNF giving up arms and joining the democratic process. Full statehood granted to Mizoram on February 20, 1987. Laldenga became the first Chief Minister of the new state. Legacy and impact. The accord is considered one of the most successful peace accords in Indian history. Since then, Mizoram has remained one of the most peaceful states in the Northeast. The Mizoram Peace Accord is celebrated every year on REMNA Peace Day on June 30th, honoring the return of peace and democracy to the region. Significance of REMNA: a symbol of peace, unity and reconciliation. Celebrated with parades, cultural programs, prayers, and community gatherings. A day to honor the efforts of those who brought peace to Mizoram. REMNA is one of the few instances in India's history where a peace accord was fully successful, making Mizoram one of the most peaceful states in the country today.